Welcome back to Act 2 of the KiteFoil World Series 2021 here in Austria on the Traunsee. The last race was won by Dennis Taradin. Second place, local hero here, Florian Gruber, followed by the Frenchman Axel Mazella. The wind has picked up a little bit. Some of the riders have come in and switched down to smaller kites. There are white caps now on the water. The left side of the course looks to be favored at the moment by a lot of the riders. We can see that there's actually a little bit more wind up there. The last race was very clean, no major incidents. These guys are racing in fresh water here, which is a little bit different from racing in the ocean with basically no salinity. You have a little bit less lift in your foils, which means you have to change up your setup just a little bit. Some riders have switched down, as I said, to smaller kites. Other riders have chosen to stay out on their big kites. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, it's better to have more power on the downwind, but you're going to have to hold down that power on the upwind legs, which can slow you down if you are too overpowered. We have been a bit unlucky for wind for this race. This is the last day, and this is finally when the wind is picked up. We are 1 minute away from the start of race number 2. Join us again after this message from our sponsor.
All that ever keeps me high is to know I'm counting on you. I'll hold on my side.
All right, less than a minute to the start. The fleet has lined up. Let's see if Dennis Taradin can make it 2 for 2, or if Florian Gruber and Axel can battle a bit more and make this interesting. The entire fleet has chosen to start on starboard again. No port tack starters. Oh, we have a bit of a tangle and a crash. Poema Newland has crashed with the black ozone. That's unfortunate, but she's back up. The ozone's in the water. We have a start. Looks otherwise clean. Everybody's back up after that crash. Everyone looks away. Looks like they've gotten away clean. That's great. Again, we've got in the front Dennis Taradin, Axel Mazella, Florian Gruber, Martin Dolenz. It'll be interesting to see who will be ahead after that first tack. It's a lot closer than it was in race number 1. If we're judging from race number 1, they should be staying on the left side of the course a bit longer. The guys that tacked out early before were a bit of a disadvantage in race number 1. So if they learn from it, they will stay on that starboard tack just a little bit longer. Okay. First riders attacking. That looks like one of the fly surfer riders. The two ozones of Axel Mazella and Dennis Taradin just reaching the outer limits now. Dennis and Axel both going for the attack. Ooh, having to cross through the fleet. It is quite close, but everyone's good. Right, this is going to be close racing. Let's see who's in the lead. Axel Mazella is looking ahead of the rest. Dennis is not having as good as a race as he did in race number 1. He's slightly behind. Connor Bainbridge is also well up there with his gray F1 kite. Theo de Ramacourt going first tack, Florian going first tack. Dennis has tacked. They've hit a bit of a patch here of less wind. You can see Dennis pumping a little bit. All right, ooh, it is tight around that mark, but Axel Mazella around the mark first, followed by Dennis Taradin, Theo de Ramacourt, Connor Bainbridge. When the fly surface decides to go for a jibe early. Again, Theo also going for early jibe. Axel jibing now. Dennis and Connor following him. So, Frenchman Axel Mazella in the lead at the moment, followed by Connor Bainbridge and Dennis Taradin. Behind him, Martin Dolench, Theo de Ramacourt, and Florian Gruber in the group in the battle for 4th place at the moment. It is super close between Dennis and Connor at the moment, but Connor has just edged him out. Axel is opening up a pretty commanding lead on his white ozone kite and Chubanga V3 foil. Connor Bainbridge also on Chubanga on the gray F1. Dennis Taradin is also on Chubanga on the black ozone R4. Axel going for his jibe. Dennis and Connor covering. Around the mark, clean. Connor and Dennis super close. Dennis just catching a rail a little bit, but recovering quite nicely. Axel, amazing speed, good angle. So Axel Mazella from France still in the lead. Battling behind him are Connor Bainbridge and Dennis Taradin. Dennis won the last race, but at the moment Axel looks like he's got a bit of a lead. Dennis trying to go under Connor at the moment. Dennis carrying a little bit more speed, giving up a bit of angle. Just trying to get ahead of Connor, trying to get into a bit of a cleaner air. And Axel just kite low to the water, cranking it, heading as far as he can up on that left side. His lead is growing every second. He's got about at least a 5 or 6 second lead now over Dennis and Connor. Dennis and Connor are pretty much head to head. Dennis looks, he's lower down, slightly ahead. Connor slightly higher up. Let's see who gets their tack more clean. Axel going for his tack. Gets around clean. Now let's see who does it first, Dennis or Connor. Connor going for his tack first. Dennis covering. Now, Connor's got it. Connor is ahead. Not by much, but he is ahead. Battle for 4th place between Theo de Ramacourt, Florian Gruber, and Martin Dolench. It's also quite close between those three Fly Surfer team riders. Axel's lead has grown. Axel is about 10 seconds ahead, going for his tack. Tack's clean. He's got a bit of interference from one of the wind foilers here on the lake. It seems that there's less wind up there at the weather mark. They're having to work a little bit harder there. See Dennis pumping a little bit after his tack, but Dennis is just managed to get ahead of Connor. Right, rounding the mark first, Axel, clean rounding, followed by Dennis Taradin, followed by Connor Bainbridge. Now let's see how this is going to work out. We've got the Fly Surfers just about rounding the mark, the battle for 4th place. Dennis going first jibe first, but Axel Mazella covering. Connor going for his jibe now too. It's also pretty clean. It's a bit slow. Axel is in a quite commanding lead. It'll be interesting to see if Dennis can keep his lead here. He jibed a bit early. Can be a bit of a disadvantage as the wind is slightly lighter in the middle of the course than it is farther out. Either way, it's going to be quite close between him and Connor Bainbridge. So we have France in the lead with Axel Mazella. Dennis Tararin on the black ozone in second. And catching quite close behind them is Connor Bainbridge from the UK on that grey F1 kite. The riders are reaching speeds here in the mid 30 knots. All right, Axel jibing around the bottom mark, followed by Dennis Tararin, followed closely by Connor Bainbridge. Axel's lead has dwindled a little bit. Dennis has caught him a little bit, but it's still a good 2 to 3 second lead. Axel going for his final jibe around the slalom mark. Dennis behind him, both clean, both Ozone team riders, fully in command. Connor Bainbridge looks like he's happy with the third place. He's not pushing as hard as he was before. And behind him, for fourth place, 2 fly surfer kites. One of them is Theo de Ramacourt. The other is, as far as I can see, Martin Dolench. And here we go, the finish. Congratulations, Axel Mazella, first place. Second place, Dennis Tararin, followed by Connor Bainbridge from the UK. It's not quite over yet. There he is. Third place, Connor Bainbridge. And Florian Gruber and Theo de Ramacourt. Join us again for race number 3. And remember to comment and discuss down below in the comments. Tell us who you think is going to be doing well in this event. Tell us who you think will be winning race number 3. If you have any suggestions, we are super happy to hear that. So let's discuss. See you for race number 3. Thanks for watching.